Welcome, welcome. Come on in, y'all, to Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 9. And this video is for Lindy and Miguel. Lindy, she is spiraling out of control, y'all. She seems to be getting worse and worse every episode. She started off so good, and let me tell you, she is going down faster than I don't know what. But this episode, she started talking about she wants an infinite amount of grace. I said, this girl has really left the church, because even in the church, in the Bible, there is revelation and there is judgment day. So at some point in time, lots of people are paying for their sins, Lindy. So you know what? She done left everything behind in her Bible days. You know, Lindy, she keeps blaming this on her upbringing, where she has so many rules and restrictions, because now she's in this adult world, and Lindy wants zero accountability. She wants to have to take responsibility for nothing. She doesn't want to have any responsibility or any accountability. She doesn't want to pay no student loans off. She doesn't want to get no health care. She doesn't want to work. And now we hear from her, she doesn't want to be held accountable. She says, let's not keep score. If you keep score, that's a bad deal. Well, that's coming from somebody who is running up the score. Okay, so Lindy's up here asking. So of course she doesn't want to keep score. She's the one having the outbursts. She's the one having the crazy episodes. Of course she doesn't want to keep score. That's like going out to dinner with a broke person, and they're like, oh, let's not pay attention to the items on the menu or how much it costs. Yeah, because you're not paying. That's why you don't care about how much an item costs, because you're not paying. That's Lindy. But Miguel is picking up on it, and so is his friend. You know, that friend, though, he seemed like he's too much in the business to me. I don't understand why it seemed like he just comes on too much, talking about Lindy, too much in it. I know he's trying to look out for his friend and everything, but right now it feels like a little bit overkill. But I'm not going to get in too much. But to be honest with you, that friend kind of irritated me this episode. He seemed like he's too much in the business, and he's taking his words a little bit too far. But Miguel definitely got a real life case study on his hands. He said, I don't know if it's a Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know what it is. But he says, I'm keeping an eye on it, because I definitely know this ain't going to be something I want a long term. That's the way I feel about it too, Miguel. If Lindy does not get this together, if she's not able to control this, Miguel will absolutely leave her. He will absolutely leave her. Lindy, on this same vein, like a lot of people do, accept me as I am, accept me as I am. That's what love is. You know, let me tell you something. Accepting a person as they are and loving them through some of their worst parts, that is a part of marriage. But that doesn't mean it absolves you from trying to get better. And that's what Lindy does. Lindy doesn't just say, accept me for who I am and my worst parts. She says, deal with it. This is the way it is. I've always been this way. All my friends say I'm this way, and I'm not doing anything about it. What has Lindy told us that she's actively doing to get rid of this part of her that's not attractive to a lot of people? You know, she don't even have health care to go see a therapist. She needs to get health care so she can go see a therapist. She needs an action plan. She needs to start working 40 hours a week. She needs to work with a company that gets her health care. She needs to get some health benefits that come with some mental health care. And she needs to go see a therapist, and then she needs to get rid of this. Because this plan that she just wants to live in an infinity pool full of forgiveness, Miguel's going to drown in that doggone pool. That infinity pool she talking about of forgiveness, where it never ends, forgiveness never ends, Miguel's going to drown in it. She told Dr. P and Miguel, I want Miguel to see my crazy side. We ain't seen it yet, Lindy. This is not the crazy side. You mean you got more in your tank? There is more to come. The real crazy rages you talking about, we still haven't seen that yet. You mean it's going to get worse than what we've seen already? Because right now, what we see is a little bit too much. Lindy talks about how she grew up and she had all these rules and restrictions. I'm not believing it. I'm really not believing it, because I can't see how you can have rules and restrictions and you get to the point now in your adult life where you don't want to follow no rules, no restrictions, don't want to handle none of your responsibilities, and you want to put them all off on everyone else. She doesn't even want to take accountability for her behavior. What she wants is for you just to accept it. She just wants you to keep forgiving it over and over again. She doesn't even want to take responsibility to get better, to do different things and do it differently. She just wants you to guarantee that you're going to love her no matter how crazy she gets. No one's doing that, Lindy. No one's doing that. That's called abusive. When I just have to take whatever you dish out, that's called abusive. You think you can have an angry rage and love would mean I would stick by you? That's called abusive and toxic. I sure hope she gets it together, because I do think that Miguel really loves and cares for her. And I think they could be a good match if she can get rid of this. But to be honest with y'all, I'm really losing hope. This seems so deeply ingrained in her. I'm not for sure she can get away. It's so deeply ingrained, it actually runs through a lot of parts of her lives, as you can see. This idea of zero accountability and I'm not responsible for anything, it's just not in how she's talking about her angry rage. It's in the student loans. It's in the fact, like I told you, she's homeless. If you go back and you watch that video of when they were on the honeymoon, and she's got all those crates in the room, and I said, why does she have so many crates in that honeymoon suite? Is because Lindy had already moved out that apartment. She had a plant, and I said, why does she have a plant, carrying around a plant on the wedding day? It was because she had moved out that doggone apartment. She had everything with her in that room with Miguel. This is why she's so pressed for him to figure out where they're going to live after 8 weeks, and why she's so pressed for him to commit that they're going to stay married, because she's homeless. She has a lot of parts of her life that point to someone being very, very irresponsible. Irresponsible in her emotions, irresponsible the way she thinks she should be held accountable in a relationship, irresponsible with her finances, irresponsible as a corporate or a citizen of this country to have health care, so that when she goes to the doctor in emergency, we're all not footing the bill for her. This is ridiculous that she could go to a hospital, get emergency care, and then we all have to pay for her, and she's a doggone doctor. That is it should be unethical, actually. Anyway, good luck, Miguel. I hope she gets better. I really do hope she gets better. But right now, I'm telling you, I just don't see Lindy being able to snap out of this. She's been this way a long time, and she isn't even at the point of awareness. She's still trying to pawn off her behavior on Miguel and everyone else, and telling everyone else they need to accept it. She's not even in the beginning stages of healing and trying to get better. That's why I don't have hope for this marriage. Not in the long term, I don't. Not at all.